Hello students, how are you? Hope you have been enjoying your holiday. We have created this platform so that you could continue learning and so that your learning can be monitored to some extent. From time to time, we'll be coming across to you, treating different subjects, various topics in those subjects because of the peculiarity of your class and the exams that you have coming in front of you. Now, we want to start today with basic mathematics, and this will include mathematics for GS3 down to GS2 to GS1 and even primary school. And for you to learn very, very well, you need the basic things you use in class, because this is like a little classroom for you. It's a classroom experience. So you must get your writing materials ready, and you must be in an arrangement or a sitting arrangement where you can learn effectively. So if you don't have your materials ready with you, I will encourage you to pause this video and get them ready before you continue. Now to our topic for today. The topic says algebraic process, or simply put, algebra. And by algebra, what do we mean? Definitions. Algebra is the aspect of mathematics that involves both numbers and letters, or letters only. The process of solving mathematical problems of any kind that involve algebraic expression is called algebraic process. So, solving algebraic expressions is a process. You go in a particular order. There are terms you use one after the other, step by step, till you arrive at your final answer. The word algebra, to many of you, when you hear algebra, you say, it even sounds difficult. But let me encourage you that this is the simplest aspect of mathematics. You don't have to develop any phobia for letters. Letters are just like numbers as well. X plus X will give you 2X. Just like purple, one purple plus one purple will give you 2 purples. Now, the outlines that we will cover, or that we may cover under this algebraic process. Algebra covers a lot of areas in mathematics. The first one we'll be treating will be simple linear equations. Simple linear equation. By simple linear equation, we mean equations that have unknown in single power. Unknowns in single power. For example, this is a simple linear equation. It is simple in the sense that the y is not y squared plus 1. It's not y raised to power 3 plus 1. The y is just raised to power 1. That's what makes it to be simple. Simple linear equation. Then we have expansion of algebraic terms. By expansion, what should come to your mind is multiplication will be involved there. Coefficient of terms in expansion. This follows after this. Like coefficient of the terms after you have expanded. Like you have 2x multiplied by 2x. You're going to have 4x squared. And if you have this one, you may be asked, what is the coefficient of x squared in your expansion? Your answer will be, the answer is 4, because your coefficient of any number is a number that is in front. The coefficient of any letter, is the number that is in front of that letter. Then we'll move to factorization, and it will involve even up to quadratic factorization. Then difference of two squares in expressions. Trinomial expressions. By trinomial expression, we mean expressions that have, or equations that have 3 entities. Like if you have 2x squared minus 4x plus 5. This is a trinomial expression in the sense that there are three entities there. There's an entity in x squared, there's an entity in x, and there's an entity that's a constant. It doesn't have any letter. That's a trinomial expression. So, especially they call trinomial expression, in another term, you can say quadratic expressions. Simplification of algebraic fractions. Then we'll go to simplification of algebraic fraction means making algebraic fractions look simpler. They will give you in a complex way, and then you would simplify it. Simultaneous linear equations. The word simultaneous means things happening together at the same time. Two things happening together at the same time. So what you have under simultaneous linear equation will be two linear equations that you solve pari passu, that you solve together till you get answers. Then you move to change your subject of the formula, which is very, very simple. Now, we have said that algebra or algebraic process means in mathematics, the aspect of mathematics that involve both letters and numbers, or letters only. That will tell you that if I come to this box now, there are expressions inside this box. Some of them are very complex, they look complex, but they are not algebraic expressions because they lack letters. This one is never going to be seen as an algebraic process, algebraic expression. Likewise, these two are not algebraic expressions, but these four will pass for algebraic expressions because they have letters. These have letters mixed with a number, letters mixed with a number, letters mixed with numbers, and then these are purely letters, and they pass fit for algebraic expressions. Now, the key words or phrases that you make use of during algebra, when you're solving algebra, the words that you must put to heart and then learn them, and then you'll be using them appropriately as you progress while you are solving problems. Number one, collect like terms. Collect like terms. To collect like terms means that, okay, maybe there are two sides to the expression. You have expressions that have an equal to sign, or you call them equations. Like we have 2y minus 5 is equal to 7y plus 3. If you are given an equation like this, there are terms in y, two terms in y, and they're on opposite sides of this bridge. One on the left hand side and the other on the right hand side. Now, to collect like terms will mean that you bring the terms that are alike to one side and the terms that are alike, the other family, to the other side. How do you do that? You have to collect like terms concerning this. Now, this is a bridge, the equal to sign. That's where I explain, and then you must just see it as a bridge. For instance, the Third Mainland Bridge in Lagos is several decades old, but the bridge has never moved. So the bridge doesn't move, but people see this as an individual. They move, they cross over the bridge from one side to another. So to collect like terms now will be saying that things that are in y, bring it to the left hand side, and bring the things that are not in y to the left hand side, to the right hand side. Now, by doing that, you have 2y. Now, whenever an entity jumps the bridge, whether from right to left or from left to right, the sign of that entity will change. There's a sign in front of this entity now, this 7y, and that sign is the invisible plus sign. The moment it jumps to the other side, it will turn to minus 7y. The bridge doesn't move, it's still there. Now, the terms on this side, remaining on this side, is the 3. And it has a plus sign. The plus sign becomes an invisible plus. And now, the term that is not in any y will also jump to the other side. Remember, it is in minus 5. By the time it jumps, it will turn to plus 5. Very, very simple. You have collected like terms. This is simply what it means to collect like terms. Now, the entities that are in y, they are on one side, and the entities that are not in y are on the other side. So it is a cleaner kind of arrangement. That's what it means to collect like terms. Another term that you use is to rearrange. You use this especially for expressions that are not equations. Like, for instance, if you have if you have 3x plus 7y minus 3 plus 4x plus 3y minus 5. Now, when you look at this, there are terms in y, there are terms in x, and there are terms that doesn't have any letter. Now, to rearrange this, we just collect the terms that are looking alike to come as close as possible to each other, and then followed by just kind of rearranging them. Now, to rearrange this, you have your 3x, the 4x, you move it. Now remember, these ones are just moving. There is no bridge in this case at all. Once you don't jump any bridge, you are just moving. Your sign does not change. You move with your sign. Your sign doesn't change at all. So this plus 4x will still be plus 4x here. And then there's no other time in x again. Now you are left with y. Move your y plus 7y. That's the plus 7y. Then what will join it will be plus 3y. Because of this, then you have your minus 3 and your minus 5. This is cleaner and looking neater than this because it has been rearranged. Now, the third one will be multiplying through by the LCM. Multiplying through by the LCM means that, okay, you have a fractional condition, a fractional situation, a fractional expression, and then you multiply through by the LCM of the denominators of all those fractions, no matter the sign that may be coming in between the sign, the fraction, be it positive sign, negative sign, or equal to, and so on and so forth. Now, divide both sides by the coefficient of something. In this case, you will have an expression like this. Maybe 2y is equal to 16. Very, very simple, but you are looking for, and you want to get an answer for y, not for 2y. So this one can never be your final destination. So what you do is you divide both sides by the coefficient of y, which is 2. So if it is this case that we're talking about, it will be 2y divided by 2y is equal to 16 all over 2. 2y all over 2 is equal to 16 all over 2 because 2 is the coefficient of y in the expression. So you divide both sides by 2. Both sides in the sense that you have a left-hand side and a right-hand side. Now, the two sides have been divided now, and then these 2 will cancel out these 2. Then you have y remaining on the left-hand side being equal to 8 because 2 here 1, 2 here will give you 8. So you will say this is your answer. That is what it means to divide both sides by the coefficient of a letter. Take the square or cube root of both sides. That will arise, or you would make use of that in a case whereby you have maybe something like this. Y squared is equal to 16. Or you have x cubed is equal to 27. In this case, since you are looking for the answer in terms of y, not y squared, the English you speak here will be take the square root of both sides. If you say take the square root of both sides, what you are doing mathematically is y squared, square root of y squared is equal to square root of 16. You have taken the square root of both sides. Now, what would this square do to this? It will remove the roof. And then you have your y remaining there, being equal to 4, because the square root of 16 is 4. Now you have arrived at an answer. If it is cube root, like x cube is equal to 27, what you do is take the cube root of both sides, and that will give you x cube. The cube root of x cube will be in this form, is equal to cube root of 27. And this will remove this, and then you have your x is equal to 3, because the cube root of 27 is actually 3. Those are the keywords that we use, and we have others too, but those are the major ones we'll be using at your level. And then this will take us to our topic for today, which is simple linear equations.